This is Biff Byford from Saxon. You're watching On the Rock. Yeah.
It is an honor and pleasure to be here with Biff from Saxon. A man that has been in the heavy metal industry since the mid-70s. He's changed quite a bit. So before, of course, you have a brand new record called Call to Arms. Before we talk about that, why don't you take us a little bit into the formation of Saxon and then, most importantly, the evolution of Saxon?
Well, we started, obviously the band Saxon didn't actually start with the name till our first album, 79. But before that, no, me and Paul Quinn were in different bands before that. And we sort of amalgamated together with another two guys who were in a band called Sob. And that was the foundation of Saxon around about 75, 76 time. Maybe 77, something like that. Yeah, so that's when the original four members of Saxon came together. And then, later on we had various drummers and ended up with the guy called Pete Gill.
You guys have been a huge part of the British wave of heavy metal influence, tons of bands. Around that time, when it was, when the scene was being formed, what were you all listening to, or what was the reason why this movement did so well?
We were listening to everything, really. I mean, we were a really wide scope of music. We were listening to, early Zeppelin, Wishbone Ash, a lot of the early Kinks stuff we liked. Sex Pistols, were in there, all in the mesh. Clash, and a lot of Mountain were in there. All those early stuff. Hendrix, Cream, was all in there moshing about. And I think probably Iron Maiden had the same influences because they were quite punky when they first started. Mm-hmm. So this sort of aggressive style of playing rock. More in your face, more on the beat, rather than on the backbeat all the time. That's what we sort of created, and it came from that, really.
And from that moment on, obviously, as you know, especially in the 80s, became a huge movement. And ever since then, you can say that maybe it's decayed here and there according to who is listening, who is watching. But it's still the masses are there for heavy metal, and I would say almost stronger than ever before.
Yeah, it's really strong at the moment. There's a huge resurgence of interest in the 80s stuff by all bands. But I think in particular with British bands, there is a worldwide interest, and obviously that must be why the new album's selling so well, because we've gone back to the roots on this album, and it's really psyching people up.
And is this something with Call to Arms that you consciously say, let's go back, or it just naturally happened?
No, we had a discussion with the producer, band, everybody, and I thought it was about time to have a change of team on the album work. And I wanted to get back to our roots a bit more, which are quite bluesy, punky thing going on there. As well as Sabbath influences as well. So I wanted to go back to the roots and lyrically go back to a more working class style of writing lyrics, which is where we came from and what we were famous for, really. And we've just gone back to that and recorded the album in a more organic way, not as many samples and snipping around with digital Pro Tools and things. We've gone for more, the guitarists played through one track as good as they could. Got the sounds great, and the songs, I worked on the songs, so the songs were great in their own, really. We didn't have to have 1,000 choirs and multiple overdubs to make them sound great,
Right, I think that's a mistake that a lot of people are doing, that they're overproducing the albums, and maybe that's why they're not as memorable. When you grab any records from when you were growing up, or
I think a lot of bands do that because they can. I think that's one of the big things with Pro Tools. You can run. A lot of digital systems, you can run like 90 tracks, and you can do that. And, you can get carried away with that sound, because the sound is awesome, when you got big choirs and, 15 guitar tracks running all at once. You know, it can be like, it's a bit like an orchestra, isn't it? You know, all playing the same notes though. And we've been through that, you know, we've done that. It's great fun. But I think people want to hear it. For me, I think people now want to really, you know, especially a lot of the younger fans want to hear how music is without all the different things that are on it. So they go back to our older albums and you know, Maiden's older albums and a lot of bands' older albums and think, yeah, you know, those albums did have something special. And I think, you know, we've created that that sort of feel, atmosphere with this album, although it's still modern sounding. You know, it's obviously a Pro Tools album. We've just done it in a more natural way.
More organic way.
Yeah, more organic way. And, you know, but less is more. You know, that's how it seems to work. You know, I don't know why, but less is more. And because there's less on there, it's a much louder album. And the first album, Hammer of the Gods, just smacks you in the mouth, you know. And we could have made that a really epic production, you know, like Battalions of Steel on our album before, which is a massive production. But I think you know, both songs are fantastic. But for our fans, this one seems to have it.
And how has been the response of the fans when you play the songs on stage?
Oh, great. It's been great. I mean, it's been going down well. I mean, Hammer of the Gods is a favourite. Call to Arms seems to be going very well. Chasing the Bullet is a great live song, you know.
And what are the touring plans at the moment for 2012? Any European festivals lined up or anything like that?
Yeah, we got some European festivals coming up. We can't tell anybody what they are because we're still touring Europe. After South America, we go back to start in Europe again on a second tour. So yeah, but we have got some major festivals lined up. Yep, and maybe another tour of the States in spring. That would be great.
The world is watching right now. For those who haven't heard of Call to Arms yet, tell them, you know, this is your chance to tell them, you know what, this is it, get it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's one of our best albums for a long time. In fact, I think it's one of anybody's best albums for a long time. And yeah, go check it out, you know, and come join the family and never surrender. That's all we can say, really. That seems to be our slogan these days. Just never fucking surrender. Cool.
Biff, I want to thank you for all the years of carrying the torch of heavy metal. And, you know, as you said before, you're keeping it, you know, intact. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going and second-guessing what you do.
This music has to have some, it has to have some, you know, some basis, some power. It just can't keep going on, you know, regurgitating itself. We have to try new things, and we've gone back to our roots, and it seems to have worked. And, you know, it makes the band relevant. That's what it's all about, you know.
Good luck with the rest of, you know, the promotion for the record and on tour. You know, I'm sure it's a lot of hard work, but when you see those fans chanting your songs, it's the best feeling in the world.
This tour's been, you know, one of our best for a long, long time. It's the first time we've toured on the album release for a long time, and it seems to be working. Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you, and the best of luck.
Thank you very much.